Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video where I am starting at the back of the grid. So I am at the West Midlands Cyclocross League. It's a league I'm actually affiliated with. However, because I haven't raced any of their races yet this season, I am at the back of the grid. I was 29 out of 30, so yes, as usual, starting at the back. And yeah, here we are, just been set off. We're racing at the Newport Lilleshall National Sports Centre course. I did this course last year and it was completely muddy last year, but completely different this year. As you can see, off the start line, trying to get around people. This is the first hill of the course, and I'm just going on the left hand side, trying to get around people as best I can. And this girl in the pink shot off like an absolute rocket, and I was like, gotta follow her. Unbeknownst to me at the time, this woman on my right in the orange, that's Isla Roundtree. We had a bit of to and fro during this, made it a very good race indeed. So we've just got to the top of this hill and it's a bit zigzaggy going down it, trying to follow Wills as best I can. Yeah, it was quite greasy in places. But yeah, managed to get around pretty good on my little baby limaces. So here, just following, well, not really following anyone at the minute. I'm just sort of following the line that I did in practice, and I found it pretty decent to be fair. But yeah, a little bit of traffic here with Isla, and then this Team Impeller rider. I do know who it is, Melissa Baker, I think. What I didn't realise as well that we'd actually met before as well, doing some crits earlier in the year. Pretty handy as well. And Team Impeller as sorry no Melissa Jade, that's who it is, Melissa Jade. And as everyone knows, Team Impeller, pretty handy team, got some good riders and things as well. So yeah, good competition this week. This part of the course I shall nickname the wall because it was like hitting a flipping 20% gradient on mud. It was I'm just cranking, trying to get over the top of this flipping thing. Absolutely nails it was, and just really difficult. Saps all your energy, speed, everything, and you've got to try and pick yourself back up again, get back on top of the gear again, up the top of this hill. Which I'm just forcing my legs just to spin and get back on top of that gear again. And then it's just a little bit of a flat section, and then immediately into a downhill section on here. As the race went on, I just gained a bit more confidence, and I just absolutely sent it as best I could, catching straight back up to Isla here. And I think I could do that because I had quite wide, decent brakes. Whereas Isla here, she's on cantilever, but she's also on a fixed gear bike as well. So she's only got one gear doing this course, and honestly, I don't know how she's doing it because, well, there were guys that are on mountain bike gear and going up and down these things. So yeah, absolutely insane. Kudos to Isla. I mean, she's been doing it a long time, super fit lady. So yeah, maybe one day I can be like that too. Who knows? So yeah, that was an uphill, a very short, flat section again before we're going straight back downhill again into a real tight left-hander here. And I found this corner a bit tricky. Just had to keep changing down the gear to get back on top of it to then go straight back up again. So we're climbing here again, and I think I managed to get around Isla at this point, and then this rider too. Just about, this is like another flat section, and probably the flattest part of the entire course, to be honest. This is right at the top of the hill. Get up a bit of speed, and it does go into like a bit of a muddy corner here. So yeah, picking the right line. I tried to stick to the grass as best I could. And this bit here is slightly off camber as well. It's starting to get grooved in as well, which was good. So you could keep speed up in that little bit there. And then it goes into a sweeping right-hander just here. And then right at the bottom, just as you've got all your speed from coming down this hill, it goes straight into a plank section. So you're having to scrub all your speed straight off, get off the bike, and run over those planks. Didn't do very well on that bit just there. I did get better at it as the race went on, finding my legs as I went through. Kudos to this girl here. She did overtake me here, but I knew on this section I'm straight back onto her wheel, and I was like, yeah, I knew I could get around her. It's just a matter of time. So I just kind of had a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a micro rest, um, just to catch my breath again, because lo and behold, we're going back uphill again. Yeah, and she's standing up. I stayed seated the entire time around this course. I didn't want to run the risk of losing traction on my rear wheel, which I did on that section I call the wall quite a lot, and that was a bit of a grind. But on here, so yeah, I managed to get around her on this section just here, and this is another sweeping downhill bit. Found this bit a bit greasy towards the end of the race as well, whether or not because we were riding on it so much. Yeah, it just, my wheels were slipping a little bit, but I was able to find the grip eventually, so it wasn't too bad. This is a bit of a false flat on this bit just here, and then it goes up again, as you can see. This bit was a bit cheeky. It was a little harder than I thought it would have been, all things considered, but, you know, grind my way up and get up there, so that's not too bad. And then we come into another little downhill bit. This bit I kept trying to remind myself to get off the brake, get off the brake, get off the brake, because you didn't really need to brake too much to come down it. It was just my confidence level, I think, where I was struggling a little bit with that. But yeah, just try to remind myself to get off the brakes as much as possible. And then we're going back into an uphand and a real sharp left-hand corner just here. Straight back down again, and then we're heading into a spiral section. And it was pretty cool. It's you know what? It's a cool feature. It is good to have. My frustrations were that I just kept slowing down way too much for the middle part of the spiral, just to try and get around the tight corners and stuff. Something I know I need to work on. But and then especially under fatigue as well. I just slowed down too much, and there were one or two occasions where I had a dab a foot. Really annoying. But hey ho, it is what it is. I got through it. So another flat section, and we're sort of, well, actually not too flat. We're going down, and then it goes flat again around this corner, bit of the slippy corner again, and then it's straight to the start finish line. And this is pretty much a whole entire lap. So we go around this little corner here, and then past the spiral, and then the pits are on the right hand side here, which I didn't need to use, thankfully. I had Dan in the pits with a spare bike, his spare bike. He got the saddle out of his spare bike and stuck it in the one he likes to use, or the one that's actually working right now, for me to use just in case I needed it, because last year was absolutely, like I said, it was a running race. It was that muddy. So yeah, that was the first lap. I think the girl in the pink is not too far behind me at this point, but I think on the next climb I do sort of put a bit of distance into her. And then Isla, she's on my tail as well. She's not far behind me. She's only about 10 seconds, 12, 15 seconds at most for the next like 2 to 3 laps. Yeah, super strong lady, but I think, yeah, well, she catches me in the end. So I've just fast forwarded here on the second lap, and so hitting the wall again, my absolute favourite bit of this course, clearly. And this is the next rider that I'm aiming to pick off. So what I didn't realise, well, Dan tried showing me that I was in 5th position. So well, I'm just trying to aim to overtake this lady in front of me. And as usual, starting at the back of the grid, as these races develop, I'm just trying to pick people off as and when I can, and just not really have that many expectations, just to try and do the best I can. And here again, I've picked up a bit more confidence. I've just gone full send down this descent here, and as you can see, I've just put in a good few bike lengths, catching back up to this lady just here as well. And then getting around this corner, I stay to her left. There is a little bit more grip on this side, I think, a bit more grass. I managed to get around her, and then because we're racing, I chop in front of her, cut off any possibility that she can sort of overtake me. I get in front of her, and then I try to keep on top of the gear, push over the top of this hill, and then just try my best just to keep the power on and get around these corners as smooth as possible, and make no mistakes, just so that I can keep in front of her and just keep the pressure on, basically. This corner again, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad on that one. Still not overly fatigued or anything, so I'm still able to handle it pretty well. And then yeah, I think that was it for that rider there. I didn't see them again. So yeah, I'm back to just riding my own race again. So here again, I've cut to the very last lap now, and the moment that Isla gets around me, she gets me on just on the inside here. She's very experienced, and yeah, I had to concede to her on the inside there. Yeah, so it was a bit of a cat and mouse. I think she was using me as a bit of a carrot, and just on that incline there, she was able to overpower me. Basically, she was just better than me. I was wanted to get on the inside there, but again, she's just a better rider than I am. A lot more experienced, a lot more powerful, and here we are, just getting around some back markers as well. And as you can see, she just basically then just rides away from me at this point. She must have been saving herself as well. I think she knew that she could get me, to be fair, which is fair enough. It is what it is, and I was trying my best on this section just here to try and keep up with her, but I just couldn't do it. Yeah, didn't have the legs for it. I mean, it was a hard race. That's all I can say. It was just absolutely nailed. So at this point, I was just trying my best not to try and get the gap too big, but like I said, she was just gone with the wind. Absolutely just left me for dead. My legs were screaming at me, so my lungs, because the course is absolutely flipping nails. It was so up and down, just absolutely relentless. Here we are, taking the planks for the very last time. And it's something that I need to learn how to do during this race as well, is also wipe the camera down, because I get very fixated. Well, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, I'm not gonna lie. I forget the camera's there, to be honest with you. So yeah, I need to get better at wiping it. So enjoy this mud splodge on the lens, but it won't be there for long, so it's fine. This is the last little section now, going uphill, and just before we get to Spiral, see, like, there's Isla. She's already taken the next corner for the next downhill bit, and I'm only just getting up this section. Yeah, yeah, it was hard. That's all I can say. Absolutely nails. I was absolutely breathing out of a straw, trying to suck air in for a straw. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. And the more fatigued I was getting, especially with these more sort of like the spirally bit coming up, I was starting to get a bit like frustrated with myself as well, because the coordination just wasn't quite there, annoyingly. But it's all good practice, it's all good training at the end of the day, so yeah, it's not too bad. And as you can see, Isla has well and truly dispatched me. Now I'm just holding on, hoping that whoever's behind me in sixth place overall isn't gonna come and catch me up. So again, I'm just trying to remind myself, get off the brakes, and just let the hill do its work and a bit of gravity, and try to keep pedaling as well. But I'm not gonna lie, it was just a really hard race. A really, really talented field of women as well, because everyone that was in front of me, like Isla, are either ex-national champions, ex-vet age category world champions, or they are fortunate enough and they're young enough that they still have time on their side where they can put a lot of training, a lot of hours in on the bike, and not have to worry about, let me say, adult, grown-up things. I don't know if that's fair to say. I mean, one can dream about being full-time like these guys are, so maybe one day. Who knows? You don't know what's around the corner. Anyway, I digress. This is now coming up towards the end of the race, where it's starting to get a bit right there, which is pretty good. last little bit corner, then we swing by the pits again. I do stand up and give it a little sprint round here just to try and keep some speed up, getting towards the end of the line here. But yeah, that was my race, pretty much done and dusted. Again, really good course, had a good time, really well organised and everything. It was a good day on the bike, to be fair, and I did better than I thought I would as well. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, comment on this video whether or not you enjoyed the course, where you finished, and until next time, see you then.